What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me for your daily horoscope for Monday, October 12th, 2020. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. It is a huge week, and we're really kicking it off today with some pretty wild stuff. It's looking... Today's intense. Like, this whole week is intense with Mercury going retrograde tomorrow, the new moon on Friday. I mean, it's an intense week, and I would say that today is right up there in intensity, but there's definitely a shining light as always. So I definitely want to say that before we start. We're going to get the sun here at 19. It's going to move to 20 degrees of Libra throughout the day, and it is, of course, going to make the exact opposition today to Mars retrograde. So this is definitely a point of extreme pressure within our identities and within who we are and how we're going to move forward on a deeper identified basis, ideally with our soul and that connection to something bigger that is within us, and to make relationships and to make the harmony based around that. And that's everything. But on just a collective standpoint, this could be big time turmoil between relationships, between identities, a lot of clashing. And it could be kind of stressful, but I think it's definitely trying to find a balance between who we are, where we want to go, and how we're going to get there, and by doing it from a place of where we truly are as a soul, and by identifying with our soul's ego and not just our conscious ego, but the bigger picture of why we're here is so important. Going to get that moon in Leo. It's going to finish up here and move into Virgo late in the evening. It's making really good aspects here in Virgo. It's going to trine Mars, Eris. It's going to make really nice aspects to the North Node in Gemini. So I think this moon in Leo is trying to show us the love and the free spirit of what we can create if by being in a happy, joyful, childlike state. But it's like we can stress ourselves out too if we're not going towards an environment that makes sense and not like looking at things objectively in life and just falling into some sort of belief that just everything is what it's supposed to be right now, because what we're getting pushed is just not the truth. But you guys know that by now. So I don't really think I need to go too much into that, but I think today's important. I think today we're emotionally ready to step into love for ourselves, love for other people, and to bridge these gaps in a beautiful way, because this is the pregame to this big Mercury retrograde that is going to happen tomorrow, still in opposition with Uranus. And this is deep psychological change, bringing up exactly what we value in life and letting us disconnect from what isn't of value, and in an electric sort of Uranian out of this world way. So it's big. And then, of course, this Sun-Mars opposition is T-squaring Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, especially for the new moon, but it's hitting all of this right now. I mean, that's a tight conjunction here within, less than 7 degrees from Jupiter to Saturn. So, and these are big planets, the biggest planets we have, and the most powerful one, Pluto. So this is intense times. It's definitely trying to uncover our own hidden power to see where we want to go long term, to build, to get there. And the polarity this week is really in Cancer, and it's being strong within our emotions and our emotional identity and our spiritual and our subconscious identity, of the bigger connection to spirit and to God, and following that light and building the foundation and building the future based off that, and building relationships based off that. And by really letting go of any reality that isn't what we feel brings us the comfort, and to really disconnect from it and to connect to what is going to bring us value, confidence, and comfort, and also bring up our ultimate truth, on a very deep level with this Mercury retrograde. So, geez, I don't know what's up with this cable today. I did this during some of the weeklies too, but it's heavy times for sure. The moon's also going to quincunx this Capricorn energy. It's going to quincunx Pluto. It's going to quincunx all of it, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn today. So there's definitely, I think, an internal knowing of what we need to find within ourselves, and it's love, and that's the hidden power that we really have to transform and to step into. But we have to be able to step into that, and I think Mars in Aries is trying to give us the courage, and the moon in Leo is trying to amplify that courage in this nice trine. So it is this courage of transforming the reality we want by being curious, of course, as always, looking for the truth, not settling for everything, objectifying all the information we get, and making sure that there's a legit connection with the people in our life and that they're on the same path. And that's not to say that we just throw people aside, but it's important to look very deep at everything in your environment. And if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Venus is going to sextile Mercury right before retrograde. It is like nitpicky here. It's Venus is being very picky, even though it's in a nice aspect. It's like, okay, you need to figure out exactly what is your deepest desires with people, with physical life, and it needs to be brought to mind right now because we're going through a huge shift of energy this week and a huge shift in a whole new direction with all this cardinal T-square action. And it's very important to make sure that you're merging with everything that you're meant to and letting go and disconnecting. Uranus, disconnect from what isn't of your true authentic self and your true individuality, and innovating who you are and connecting to who's innovating on that same path that you're going on. And that's everything right now. Relationships, to the relationship with yourself, to finding and unlocking your true hidden power. And Saturn here is trying to restrict it and hold it back. But you can't let that happen. You got to let the transformation happen, and it can feel difficult and it can be hard right now, but you have to have the courage. There's so much courage that has to be out. And even as the day finishes, as we get this Mars opposition to the sun, the moon's going to sit right on top of the fixed star Regulus, which shout out to Astro Gold for finally letting me put the fixed stars on the chart. Super cool. So we got Regulus at 0-0. I'll erase a little bit for you. Regulus here at 0-0. Virgo, and that's where we're shifting. The courage is shifting into the purity of our soul and what we can create from that. And emotionally, it's going to be right there at the end of the day as we get this opposition, showing us that the emotional Cancer courage of the foundation and the purity that we can create from is going to help us build the relationships and help us move into the future that we want to go into, to give us the environment and the goals that are going to take us to the next level, because we're in a major shift point. If this was someone's natal chart, whoo, fun times. But and it will be someone's natal chart, I'm sure. Somebody's going to be born these next couple of days, of course. But this is powerful times to step into your power as an individual soul, evolve from that, and to make the connections that are meant for you to take you into the future, and to disconnect of what isn't bringing you the best and isn't bringing you the reality that you desire. Because we can't play the games anymore that are trying to be played with us. We have to break free from that. And Uranus is trying to show us that on a very deep mental level, with this very long opposition to this Mercury that's stationing and going to go retrograde tomorrow. So it's powerful stuff that's trying to take us much deeper and have us look much more objectively at life in general and the world. And yes, like the Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn in Capricorn right now it's really a hidden agenda that the government is forcing on us to restrict us and to control us and to not let us expand with Jupiter in fall. And we can't let that happen because the power is in us. And you just have to find it and not let them play the games with you, to see through it with Mercury in Scorpio, see through the bullshit. Scorpio is seeing through the bullshit. Pluto is seeing through the bullshit. So we have to see through the bullshit here and grab our power, not let some government take it from us. Not let some other person take it from us. It is truly the power in our identity, of our soul, that is going to connect us to everything that we've ever desired in life. And today's the start of a very intense week that I know is going to make huge impacts on so many people's lives, and it can be for the best change ever if you're willing to let that gift come in, but you can block it if you're not willing to let something go away to grab onto something beautiful. Card of the day is, this card came up, I shuffled a bunch. This card came up a lot during the weekly readings too. It's the Three of Cups reversed. It's so important that we surround ourselves with the right people right now that are supportive of our journey, that we support their journey. There has to be this higher vibrational connection, almost twin flame like, in a sense that like the relationships are karmic, that are here to uplift us, and the ones that are bringing you down are not it. And I know that that's hard to hear. Not everybody can, wants to hear that. But it's so important, and this new moon is forcing us to make connections that are pure and emotionally deep and soul deep, not surface level deep. And that's what's going to help us transform. That's what's going to give us a support system that's going to help the soul evolve. We're all evolving right now, whether some people know it or not. But there is a thing called de-evolution, and souls do that too. So we're in a weird time right now. There are some souls that are going to resist evolution, and there are some souls that are going to evolve. And what a polarity that is when you have half the population splitting one way and the other half splitting the other way. But the one side can't just judge the other side. The one side has to know that that side is on a journey just like they are, and they have to accept it. But that doesn't mean they have to connect with it. That is Uranus. It's the ability to be smart enough to disconnect from what is not of the divine and what is not of the higher path, and to connect to what is. But it doesn't mean you judge it. You have to see people for who they are. Uranus is the people. Aquarius is the people. You got to connect with the right people in your life and let the other ones do their thing without attacking them. We got a wild week, guys. But there's a lot of positive to come from it. This is forcing major action and major change to evolve. And I love you all very much. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Peace.